So this week, man, the World Track is brought to you by, we're going to talk about none other than the homie Hove, man. None other than the homie Hove, man. And he says something, man. She might start an institute. She might put poor kids through school. My stake in Roc Nation should go to you. Leave a piece for your siblings to give to their kids too. TIDAL, the champagne, do say, I like to see a nice piece. Fun ideas from the people who look like we. We got to start a society within a society that's major like the Negro League. There was a time in America that wouldn't let us ball. Those times are now back, just now called Afro-tech. Generational wealth, that's the key. My parents ain't had so that shift started with me. Let's walk through that, man. Let's walk through that. She might start an institute. She might put poor kids through school. So he's talking about like his daughter, like some of the aspirations that she might do, because one of the things that wealthy people do is give back. But he's talking about give back to the poor, give back, start an institution, because that's how people did. If you look back, we just talked about the king. He started the North Carolina Central University, HBCU. So that's thinking big. Like my wealth gonna put you in a situation. Like think about the wealth that I'm leaving. I'm leaving so much wealth for my kid that she might start an institute. She might put poor kids through school. But in order for her to even think like that, as a father and as a mother, they had to program her that way. Goes a little further. My stake in Roc Nation should go to you. Meaning the company that I own, my stake in it, that's going to go to you too. So I'm not just giving you BS. I'm also now giving you my stake in the business. I'm giving you my stake in the business. Leave a piece for your siblings to give to their kids too. We're talking about wealth being for generational. We're talking about wealth being generational. Leave a piece for your siblings. Okay, like my stake in the business, like I'm going to give it to you. But I want you to give a piece to your siblings. But it's lucrative enough where you can give a piece to their kids too. So your siblings, your sisters and brothers, the twins, like make sure their kids get a piece too. We're talking generational here, y'all. TIDAL, the champagne, the douce. I like to see a nice piece. Fun ideas from people who look like we. That means, look, when you make investments, I want you to fund ideas. First of all, let's talk about the businesses, the TIDAL, the douce, the champagne. Let's talk about the businesses that I own, right? We got a nice piece of that. But let's fund some ideas from people that let's take some people that look like us and let's fund their ideas. Because one of the things that your people lack is funding. We got to start a society within a society. Watch this underline and blow though. That's major like the Negro League. Ooh, that boy talking spicy. He talking spicy. Because to be honest with you, the Negro League was major. To be honest with you, the Negro League was actually better than the Major League Baseball. It was more entertaining. They had better athletes. But you see, let's start a society for us within the society. And we ain't going to go into the double entendres and all that because people, man, we're going to leave it here, face value for people. Right? There was an America that wouldn't let us ball. Look how all that. He went crazy with just that bar right there. Start a society within a society that's major like the Negro League There was a time in America and they wouldn't let us ball. All that, golly, Hove. Now watch how he slide in. Those times are now. It's called Afro-tech. Why? Because they need more black people in the tech industry. They know what we do, man. They know what we do. But he's just saying, look, there's a time in America when they wouldn't let us ball. But that time ain't now. That time is now still, because they still hold us. They still have us financially. That's why we got to make this. That's why this platform right here, I'm breaking away and soon. That's why I need to build it up. Man, I need to sit alone. I need to sit on my own platform. That's my own thing. And then when you go to YouTube and when you go to these, it's because I put it there, but it's mainly housed on my own. It's coming. But he go further, man. He said something that's real dope, man. He said, generational wealth, that's the key. My parents ain't leave me in, so that shift, not that, but that shift starts with me. I want you to understand something, man. In order to build wealth, man, you got to play the long game. You got to put your people in position. Everybody thinking about right now. Why are we just so focused on right now? What I can do right now to look. I'm going to be real. The reason why you won't be on right now, I'm going to keep, because you won't show the gram. That's why you won't be popping right now. I unfollow everybody on the gram, yo. I don't need that influence. That way I ain't even tripping on that. Bet, because here it's programmed. There's a science behind you scrolling and the thumb thing. There's a science behind that makes you addicted. That generational wealth, man, if we start thinking like that, man, if we start thinking generational, man, not check to check, not you. If we start thinking generational, man, that gives us some more room to grow. That gives us more room to acquire. That gives us more room to build and solidify ourselves. Generational wealth is the key. When you start moving generational, I'm going to be real with you. When you start thinking generational, like your day-to-day don't need much be because you're thinking about the long goal. When I think about the Wallstreet looks like us now network, I'm thinking 10, 15 years from now. Everything I'm doing between now and the first 10 years, I ain't even tripping on that. I'm thinking 15 years from now, 10 years from now. I'm 40. I'm thinking about what this is going to look like when I'm 50. If I'm showing up every day. If I'm showing up every Tuesday. You know how many Tuesdays I got to show up for 10 years? Cuz you know how many Tuesdays we got to show up for 10 years, God? We got to show up. That's how I'm thinking. We got to show up for 10 years, cuz for that thing get where we needed to be at. Whatever happened in between that 10 years, that's my mark. My mark is like, cuz, what we going to look like in 10 years? Everybody that worked with me to build this, we on a 10-year, we on a 10-year run when you come here. If you ain't going to be here for 10 years, if your goal ain't to rock with me for at least 10 years, you don't need to be here. I need to put somebody in here that's going to rock like that, because that's how I'm rocking. I ain't never missing a Tuesday for 10 years. God said the same. And if you ain't built like that, if you don't got that kind of vision, this ain't the place for you. We thinking generational. And here's the dope part. I'm going to keep it real. And I feel whole. Man, nobody leave me nothing. So that shift got to start with me. That shift got to start with you. That's a powerful ass verse, man. Legacy. And that brings me right to this next segue, man. Wise words from the OG, man. This is when I just like to have a conversation with y'all, man. You know, during the show, man, if y'all don't really notice, man, we be telling a story. We tell a story about life. We tell a story about the economy. We tell a story about what's going on. We like to paint a vivid picture for you so you can get it. It's strategical that I leave the store on such a positive and profound vibe. The well track. Learning the lingo. Breaking down a brick. The well track. Wise from the OG. Some people were truly in recessions before 2021, 2022. You in your own personal financial recession. And you were in a recession because of lack of information. You were in a recession because how you spent your money. You were like a company that had negative working capital. The key to wealth is long-term. We just heard Hov say it. We got to start measuring this thing in years and generations, not day by day. When I had my daughter, man, the first thing I said was, yo, this is mine. The next thing came to my head is, I don't want her to go through what I went through. The third thing that came to my head was generational wealth. How do I secure her future? We have that power, but we just ain't tapped into it. We got that power to change generations. When we look at the high tide community, we look at Black Wall Street, we look at the Florida Roseville area, we got the power to change communities. We got the power to influence generations. We got to stop letting YouTube raise our children. We got to stop letting the computer raise our children. We got to stop letting the phone dictate us. That's the only way, because as long as we distracted, we can't never pay attention to what's going on. As long as we distracted, we can't never get our money right. As long as we locked in on the gram all day, we measuring our success to somebody else's success. We wondering why we ain't doing good. We trying to see, you can't do it like that. We got to measure this thing in years. And once we start measuring this thing in years, we start asking ourselves, did I put the next generation in position? You heard Hov. Leave a piece of that state for your siblings, but they kids too. He already done took care of 3 generations. Like, yo, we good. Boom, boom, boom. How many generations have you put in place already? How many generations are on your blueprint right now? You got to buy great companies, buy great real estate, or create great businesses that can be sold for millions or profit or steady cash flow. Is how we prepare for generations. Man, every one of us is different. We got different goals, we got different values, and we got a different mission in life. But there's a plethora of things that we can do with our money. Building wealth is not just a cookie cutter approach, like 1 + 1 = 2. There's so many different things we can do with our money. The goal is we got to learn the different things that we can do with our money. I know you're scared. I know you fear losing your money. But here's the thing. If you don't make a move, you will not be in a better situation tomorrow. And I always say that the future costs you more. A dollar that ain't moving is a dollar that's losing, y'all. And if you allow them to feed you, you give them permission to starve you. You have to make adjustments in the game, not just at halftime. You got to make in-game adjustments. All right, cool, I see this ain't going right. I got to switch up some things. That's okay, but you got to have a game plan. A lot of people say, man, Trap, I'm going to be a millionaire. This question always blows me. Man, who going to be a millionaire? Me. Not a millionaire, Trap. I'm going to be a billionaire, Trap. I bet. What's the game plan? Everybody get quiet after that. What's the game plan? All right, ask me, Trap, what do you plan to be? Man, I see 9 figures in my future. How you going to get that, Trap? Well, I'm going to build a media company out. But this is a 15-year plan for me. And through the media company, I plan on hosting conferences. Through the media company, I plan on doing tours. Through the media company, I plan on creating documentaries. Through the media company, I plan on shooting movies. Through the media company, I plan on partnering. I want my daughter to actually take on a part of my business so she can start a hedge fund. So I got to learn different levels of trading so we can now trade for people through an asset management. The Wallstreet looks like us now holding company. So now she can manage an account for that so she can trade from that. So now we buy real estate, we buy stocks, we trade, we start other businesses through that. I want to own a couple hotels. This is how I'm going to get there. This is how I'm going to get there. This is how I'm going to get there. Save cash, put some money. When we accumulate so much money that we put it in bonds. And why do we put it in bonds? So the money gets, even if we're getting 2-3%, we're doing 1-2 year bond. The same thing that Apple, Microsoft, Google and them do. We're getting 2-3% on our bonds, and what we're doing is in a recession, we want to now take the money out the bonds so we can buy distressed assets on sale. We think of opportunity, not adversity. I want to teach the same game to my family, but I also want to inspire other people. I want to create the Wall Street Looks Like Us Now Academy, where you come learn stocks, you come learn real estate, you come learn dividends, you come learn trade, you come learn different things, and you pay a tuition like college, but not as much, a couple $100. This is the game plan. This is the game plan. So I can see 9 figures easy this way. What's the game plan? How do you become a billionaire that you say you want to be? Are you wishful thinking or are you going to be strategic? And here's the thing. You won't become a billionaire overnight. If you want to be a billionaire, it's going to take you 10, 15, 20 years. I promise you. And you can't get there trying to worry about day to day. You got to get there by thinking years. You want to know why Warren Buffett is so amazing as being a successful investor? It's not that he just was so great. I'm going to be real with y'all, bro. Like, it's not that he's just such a great investor. What he was he had a game plan. He had an identity. This is what I do. And he bought businesses for the long term. He kept it so simple. He ain't make it hard. I'm going to buy businesses at discount prices. I'm going to buy businesses at discount prices. I'm going to learn how to trade. He bought a railroad. He bought mobile homes. He bought real estate. He traded the markets. He bought businesses here's the dope part about it. He didn't make billions until he got to his 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. He got richer as he got older. I wonder why. He got richer as he got older. And here's how we can truly tell the people who did it strategic and stuck to the plan. And here's how you can tell the people who got lucky. Because the people who got lucky, when in adverse times, they run out. You can't get lucky and become wealthy. You get presented with these type of opportunities that we in right now every 15, 20 years. You don't even get them all your life. Warren Buffett been a great investor for 60 years. He's 90-something years old. He's been a great investor. Matter of fact, he started investing when he was 11. He's been a great investor for 80 years. I mean, I've been buying and holding companies for 30, 40, 50 years. Got to play this thing for the long term, man. Everybody who attack life with a long-term approach win. It's the secret sauce. Robin Hood made people look at this game like it was gambling. Robin Hood. They made investing so sweet to where people went to gambling. Some people got lucky and made money. But you made that approach like you was gambling. And so now people treating the markets like it's a gamble, not even realizing that Robin Hood getting paid for the order flow. They getting paid so the more active you are, they getting paid. So they not getting paid for you being a long-term investor. They ain't making no money like that. They giving you incentives for being a trader. They making money. They making a lot of money because what happened? They bought a whole bunch of people who didn't know nothing about the markets, who got it, and they incentivize you for losing money. 90% of the people on Robinhood lost money, lose money. They made some money when the market was going good, but guess what? You know why Robinhood stock is down so much right now? Because what happens is when people lose money, they stop playing the game. And when people stop playing the game, that all the flow went down. And so they start missing earnings. They start missing revenue. They couldn't do, they're laying people off. That's why the stock $9. Why the stock $9? Because you took a bunch of people and you gave them a quick high during the pandemic. 30 million people during the pandemic, 40 million new investors, 13, 14, 15 million of them came through Robinhood. And guess what happened after the pandemic when the stock market stopped going up, when it started going down and it started going sideways and the people lost money? I'm gone. Man, I ain't playing that game no more. That game rigged. Samuel L. Jackson said to me, even a fun game is rigged to play. You know the rules. Somebody like me come up and tell you, look, 80% of your investment should be long-term investments. That's me. 80% of my investment, long-term investment. 20% stocks, I do some options with. That's cool. But 80% of my money is long-term investing. And then I keep learning different trading techniques. I learn cover calls. I learn the wheel strategy. I ain't learned how to scalp. I learned leap, right? I learned how to do different things. Bear puts, bull puts. I learned how to do different things. But my 80% of my strategy is long-term wealth. Buy great companies, hold them for the long term, buy more of it at discounted prices. That's how you win the game. Buy real estate, get cash flow from it. Why? Because consistent cash flows win. Learn how to pull the equity out of real estate, go buy more real estate. Let that real estate pool generate income. Get equity, buy more, get that equity, buy another one. Take the equity from all three, buy a hotel. Let the hotel generate, get some money, buy another one. It can be a small hotel. Then go get another one. I'm playing 20 years. Monopoly said buy houses and hotels. Monopoly said buy houses and hotels. I just started off with a farm. That's the other part of my business. Get into the agriculture. I bought the water rights. I bought the mineral rights. I bought the land rights. I bought the house. When I told him 500, he said, damn, we had to buy the mineral rights. I said, yeah, man. We bought the mineral rights so if they come on this land and they strike for all, it's for us. I don't care what it is. You got to make in-game adjustments, but you got to play the game all 4 quarters. The inflation going crazy in America. Interest rates going up, inflation, all kind of stuff. We can't do nothing about none of that. Here's the question. What does the inflation rate on your personal life look like? What does the interest rates on your personal life look like? What's eating at your money before inflation? What's the bad spending habits you had before inflation? What is that? What were you going through before the news started talking about it? Because some of us been in recessions and been in high interest rate environments on our own without the world telling us that. What separates the good companies, the good investors, and the good families is how they overcome while everybody else falling apart. What separates the good companies, the good investors, the good families is how they survive when everybody else is panicking. When financial calamities, are going on in the world and things aren't clear and present, when recessions, when mass incarcerations, when the crack epidemic, when infrastructures are being pillaged, when hurricanes are destroying foundations, when murder rates are at all-time highs. Yes, all these different things are happening. All these different things that because listen, you never know what's going to happen while you playing the game. When that financial onslaught is going on, who stand on the other side and say, I'm still here, I'm still winning? The reason why we call Warren Buffett the greatest investor of all time is because at 90 years old, he's still in there. He's been winning since he was 80. Has he made some bad investments? Yup. He done been through a few recessions. But guess what happened? At the end, he always standing up like, yep, I added a few more millions to my money. I added a few more billion to my money. I keep telling you, man, what financial habits do you have? If you know it's a recession right now, if you know the world going through something and you live in check to check, you don't got no goddamn business going out. You don't got no goddamn business buying designer, nothing. You don't got no goddamn business taking no vacation right now. You don't got no goddamn business buying brand new shoes and stuff right now. If you know it's a recession and you know you live in check to check, it's time for you to save. It's time for you to stack. It's time for you to learn. Like, you got to fix your priorities. How do you win? Make in-game adjustments. Because you know the people ain't playing fair. You know the game ain't fair. You know the people ain't playing fair. Why are you expecting it to be fair? You owe you. What do you owe you? What is the position you're going to put yourself in? You got the PPP money. Did you blow it or did you invest it? Did you learn a new skill? You got free money. What did you do with it? Did you give it Louis Vuitton? Did you make him, well, you part of the reason why he became the richest man in the world? What did you do? What do you do when opportunities present themselves? Because I always say this to all my people. The opportunities that you take advantage of become the leverage for the next generation. The opportunities that you let pass by become adversity that they got to go through again. We are the financial revolutionaries. We just in a new form right now. Never before have we had this many people that look like us, sound like us, talk like us, been through what we've been through, that got information. It's okay to pay somebody for some information. Just make sure they're legit. Make sure they're strong. Make sure they're doing what they're telling you to do. And make sure they're standing on their word. Making sure they operate with integrity. Ask some people about them. The reason why scammers will always have a job is because they know how to talk to people. And they talk to people in their weakest point, and they give them dreams. I can make money for you. I got a mentor that's going to trade for you. No, I don't. So don't get scammed, but also don't scam yourself. And what I mean by don't scam yourself is don't pass up on the opportunities that you know could change your life just because it requires you to make a sacrifice and do it a little hard. To take your life to the next level, it's going to require work. It's going to require blood, sweat, and tears. I'm going to teach you how to invest, but it's going to require you to do the reading. It's going to require you to do the, it's going to require something from you. Anything that doesn't require something from you probably is too good to be true. The way that I will become prosperous is because I will help others become prosperous. So when I leave you, I want to tell you this, man. Be open to receive. Attract the abundance that you want. And know that your opportunities and your possibilities are expanding. It's your boy, the Wall Street Trapper. See y'all next week, man.